So continuing where we left off, basically, there a long time ago. Let's see the crap. I'm trying to remember. What did they say? The whole Egyptian thing was like 5,000 years ago. Well, 10,000 years ago, there was Atlantis, which was a prosperous, thriving, advanced civilization. And suddenly, these fragments, these meteors rain down from the sky, and they're like these shining, glowing green stones, and these actually allow them to prosper, and become as advanced as they are. But these things actually harbor a dark nature to them, and they can bring out a person's dark nature.
Fun fact, Darts was alive when the 10,000 years ago when the Orichalco stones were discovered.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, that's not a fun fact, that's just a fact. I mean, that's a plot point.
Well, yeah.
Darts is actually the ruler of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
What a twist!
We find all this out after Yugi duels Weevil on the train, on top of the train actually, and then he goes all out. He uses Breaker, the magical swordsman, and his effect, so he can keep attacking, as long as he draws a monster until he draws like a spell or a trap card. For some reason, that's his effect in the anime. And so he's just constantly running Weevil over until Taya begs him to stop. Yeah, they have a little train crash, train derails, and well, this guy called Ironheart actually manages to save them. Yeah. Might as well spoil it. Here's the twist. He's actually Darts' dad, and his granddaughter, Chris, is actually Darts' daughter. What?
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, somehow their spirits managed to endure even after all this time. Like I said, so, just wanted to get that bit of backstory out of the way because, well, the Orichalcos actually brings out the worst in people. Mind washed Darts into thinking, and yeah, I said mind washed. Mind control and brainwash. Mind wash. That was a total accident on my part, but whatever. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if my router just blinked out or what. But, anyway, yeah. So, yeah, he's tricked into thinking that his people are actually corrupt and the Orichalcos will purify them, when, in all honesty, it's actually the opposite. The Orichalcos actually makes you evil.
Dun, dun, dun.
So,
Fun fact, Darts' daughter's dog is Silverfang.
yeah, there's like some really stupid crap there, which is actually the first mention of the Duel Monster spirit world. Apparently, the people of Atlantis aligned with the Duel Monster spirits in order to combat the forces of Atlantis. 3 legendary warriors were then turned into dragons, who were then sealed away because of Darts. Yeah, so their love of justice, or whatever the hell, corresponds to Yugi, Joey, and Kaiba's will. And so, the 3 of them managed to Deus Ex Machina draw these things and actually use them. Yugi gets the Eye of Timaeus, Kaiba gets the Fang of Critias, and Joey ends up with the Claw of Hermos. So, by playing these cards in conjunction with another card, they can actually fuse them into like some sort of uber Deus Ex Machina card. They can usually turn away the power of the Orichalcos and actually win them the duel. God damn it, this is probably the most background that we've actually put into one of these.
Mm-hmm. The one I don't know much about.
So, we might as well start going off on the casualties. Alright, so Rex is gone again. You know, Joey vowing to save him. Weevil's gone. You know, Alistair's gone. Freaking Valen gets taken out by Joey. Then Mai challenges Joey right after. So he's exhausted because these duels are real. The actual damage that you take is like physically taxing on the body. So he can barely see and barely stand up. He barely won his duel against Valen. So he starts going toe to toe with Mai. He's about to collapse. She races over, grabs him, and then, you know, he brushes the Orichalco stone off of her choker, and it falls and hits the ground and shatters. Mai, now free, decides to take the Claw of Hermos and actually try and take on Darts in a measure of revenge. It doesn't work, because she ends up being intercepted by Raphael, who soundly beats her and leaves the card. Well, you know, he tosses it back to Yugi. So, yeah, here we go. Yami Yugi decides to take on Raphael in a rematch. They go at it, and yeah, we get to find out Raphael's backstory. You know, basically, you know, just they go back and forth, back and forth. Yugi plays this BS spell card that makes Raphael face himself, and I don't know, he redeems Raphael, like just as they end the duel, so that his soul isn't taken or something.
Yeah, the thing with Raphael is he brings back all his monsters from the grave because he doesn't want his monsters in the grave. He don't like abandoning his monsters. But the card he uses takes away his life points because he brings back those monsters. So since his heart is sort of pure for doing that, the seal can't take him because he doesn't have any evil in his heart anymore.
Yeah, there's like some sort of BS that they decide to put in. So, with all that said and done, the Pharaoh and Kaiba finally get to face off against Darts. Yeah, Raphael comes in, you know, he says that he's going to make Darts pay. Why? Because turns out Darts has actually been manipulating their... Why, thank you, Thunder. Turns out...
I heard that.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Well, because Darts has actually been manipulating their lives. He got Alistair into a position where, you know, his whole, like, town was ravaged by war, and he pretty much created the illusion that, you know, Gozaburo Kaiba was responsible for it. You know, Gozaburo made war machines. Seto decided to turn the company into a gaming company. So, yeah, it's still Kaiba Corp, so that's why Alistair has his deal. Valen was framed and then put into a correctional facility where he had to fight for his life. Duel Monsters actually provided him a bit of solace, thanks to Darts' influence. You know, he was apparently the warden at this facility or some crap. Raphael. Darts created a tidal wave that actually caused the ship to sink. Raphael ends up becoming a castaway, and his only companions are his guardian duel monster cards. And that's why he's so connected to them, and why he doesn't want to replace the cards, even though they might be worn and faded.
You forgot to mention that it was his parents who died in the tidal wave.
I thought it was his brother and sister.
Oh, yeah, it was his brother and sister. Tell me.
Yeah, I was going to say, so his cards are his only companions because he has no family left. So, yeah. Darts convinced him that it was because of an evil pharaoh that everything evil in the world happens. So, yeah, Raphael is pissed because you lied to me. Darts gives him a nice little rousing speech to awaken the anger in his heart again, so that the Orichalcos can take him. Apparently, they need like 10,000 souls or something in order to awaken this creature called the Great Leviathan. The stronger the soul, the better it is. The sooner they can actually revive this thing. Well, well, well. Yeah, doesn't quite happen. So, the tag team, the 2-on-1 match doesn't really go the way they planned. They summon their strongest monster in their first turn. Darts blows it away. And basically he does like the stall tactic by playing Mirror Knight Calling. So he has like these monsters that then reveal themselves to have the images of their friends. And Yugi, the Yami Yugi is afraid to attack. Kaiba, on the other hand, doesn't give a shit. So, shortening this up, wrapping it up, Kaiba ends up taken out, but he plays a card that allows him to pass the rest of his life points to Yugi. Now, booyah. Now, the Pharaoh manages to play this card that Pegasus left for them, but they, but like Darts' organization kind of figured Pegasus would have a hand in it, so they sent Mai to take him out. Unfortunately, she didn't find what he had saved for them. Pharaoh plays the spell card. What's it called? Heart of Truth. And it unlocks the 3 legendary dragons' true forms. So they're able to actually pin down Darts' Divine Serpent. He's basically about to lose, but Darts is like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to sacrifice my own soul instead to revive the Great Leviathan. So the thing responsible for the Orichalcos to begin with shows up. And, well, the Pharaoh ends up entering it because of the darkness in his heart. But instead of falling, his friends actually help him rise. And so now he can actually recharge his Egyptian gods, whose cards he managed to actually snag just before the duel with Darts. They go at it. And well, it's kind of a iffy fight until the Pharaoh decides to combine the might of all 3 Egyptian gods. Leviathan isn't exactly doomed just yet, so the Pharaoh seals it within his own heart. Don't ask me how the hell that happened, but it was like some Sailor Moon BS that I don't even want to talk about, because I don't understand how it works.
No.
And
I don't even remember him sealing it inside his heart.
And my power is blinking off and on now. I might disconnect.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we pretty much wrapped up that arc, except for any like closing thoughts, and we only have like a minute to do it. Like a minute and a half.
Well, basically, this is probably one of my favourite arcs, because I mean, it's different. It uses the Seal of Orichalcos as like a...
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, Beast. It uses it as like an add-on. And it just makes everything more dramatic. Everything like the Shadow game. But, yeah, this is probably my favourite arc, and that's basically all I have to say.
I don't know shit about this arc.
A lot of people
This
see
is definitely one of my least favorite arcs.
a lot of people see it as filler and completely unnecessary. While that may be true, it did give us some pretty good insight in the characters' personalities, and shows another eternal struggle between good and evil. So I actually enjoyed it, although I did feel that it was rather lengthy and it did have a very slow start.